We have a major crime problem in New York City. We have a major problem in the subway system. New Yorkers don't feel safe. You know why they don't feel safe? Because the crime rate is up. It's not that they are being neurotic or overly sensitive. They're right. They are right.
New York Governor Cuomo yesterday, crime on the rise in New York City and across the country, now growing concerns about safety and security. Latest Fox polling shows nearly 3/4 of the U.S. think that crime in America is worse now than it was a year ago, and more than half say it's worse in their own community. Want to bring in Bill Bratton, former top cop in both New York and L.A., now executive chairman at Teneo Risk Advisory. Bill, how you doing? Good morning to you. Is the governor wrong?
He is not wrong. He's right on the money. We not only have a significant increase in crime in New York, around the country, most major cities in America, but we have a growing fear of crime, some of it based on that reality, some of it based on perception. But there's no denying that the virus, the crime virus that was hidden for most of the last several years, hidden in plain view, has roared to the surface these last several months.
Why do you think it was hidden in plain view? What do you mean by that, Bill?
Several things. That we had a presidential election that really hardly touched on the issue of crime. Secondly, we had the coronavirus that consumed so much of the oxygen, understandably, taking 600,000 lives and impacting on countless millions more. In 2020, upset the economy of this country, upset the economy of the world. Nobody was particularly paying much attention to the surging crime in our country's major cities, and indeed now even expanding into our suburban and rural areas. Now, however, it has come roaring back because as the virus is lessening in its impact and people are effectively focusing on other issues, once again, crime is leading the news. And you know the old expression, if it bleeds, it leads. We had the unfortunate incident in California yesterday that led the news, is still leading the news this morning, and it's going to continue to lead the news because it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, you say roaring. I'd say that's 2x or 3x at the moment, depending on the city. Felony assaults on the subways here in New York. Last week, 24 assaults. Week before, 13. That's not the right trend. Here is the spike in homicides in cities cutting police budgets. Austin is up 50%. Minneapolis, 113. Oakland, 132. Portland, 800%. Wow. You've got to get a handle on this. And what we're seeing in places like New York is that there was a defund the police movement, and that is shifting in a big way. How do you see that playing out?
Well, the good news is the pendulum that was swinging totally to the left, to the extent it was almost coming off the scale, has now begun to move back. And by that I mean Minneapolis, Portland, New York, many Los Angeles, cities that were defunding. They all embraced the defund the hashtag and put in criminal justice reform, well-intended, but had extraordinarily unintended negative consequences. They're recognizing that in a democracy, the essential element for public safety is the police. Do the police need to reform? They certainly do. But you can't spend most of your time trying to criminalize the activities of the police and decriminalize the activities of the real criminals. And that's what's been going on in our country for so long. And we're now seeing the effect of it. So going forward, the good news is Los Angeles has just stopped defunding and refunding its department, going to hire 250 more cops. Even crazy Portland, which is probably one of the craziest cities in America, has recently put forward $6 million in its budget to deal with its 800% increase in homicides in that crazy city. We're seeing in city after city, Minneapolis, ironically, after literally forcing off 25% of the cops in that city, in what was one of the most dangerous cities in America, now is looking to bring in the state police and other agencies to help it with its crime problem, which is the wrong direction to take by bringing in all these different agencies, trying to coordinate,
you have to do different things.
The
trend. I apologize for interrupting. I'm out of time, and thank you for yours. But listen, I mean, the trend is wrong, and you need to reverse it. And the examples you point out here are well taken. You can't get rid of qualified immunity. Otherwise, the cops are going to be fearful to do their job. And I'm certain you have found that as well. Bill, I got to run, okay? Thank you for, did you have something real quick?
No, just great being with you. All the best. Okay.
Okay, Bill, we'll speak again. Bill Bratton, thank you.